My name is Sauli, and as long as I remember, I've always enjoyed watching TED Talks. They've provided me with inspiration and more importantly, food for thought. New ways to think. So I will do my best to follow the example and give you some food for thought, literally, and introduce one way to approach this very topical climate question. How to help people to act more sustainably at scale. And then afterwards, you can decide whether this actually offered something new or not. I'm a CEO of a Finnish startup called Rescue Club. Our aspiration is zero food waste globally. So I'm going to approach this topic from an entrepreneurial perspective and use my country, Finland, as an example, and our company and food as a context for discussing this behavioral change. And my approach is simple. If you want to help people to act more sustainably, stop selling sustainability. I will explain. Let's start from the big picture. Our planet is about to boil, and therefore we have a shared global deadline in terms of climate change. In the end, resolving this crisis comes down to our decisions. The decisions we do every day. Do I make this small sustainable act today, which is good for the planet, or don't I? Our global population is growing, and by 2050, it will be 10, 11 billion. A lot of mouths to feed, right? This increased demand for food would reach about 170% of the current demand by 2050. So with that in mind, at the moment, we waste about 30% of the food produced across the entire food system globally. From a climate perspective, if food was a country, it would be the third largest in the world in terms of CO2 emissions. And a bigger part of this waste comes from developed countries. And behavior is considered to be the main cause of food waste in these developed countries. So, as an entrepreneur, how can you help people to act more sustainably at scale? And why has my home country and Nordics in general been a good starting place for building products that can change our behavior towards a more sustainable direction? So let's examine Finland and Nordics for a bit. I am and live in Helsinki, which is the capital city of Finland. We are the happiest people on earth, according to UN's World Happiness Report. Also, other Nordic countries rank high on the same report. All Nordic countries, Finland including, rank high on many aspects, to be honest. For example, on prosperity, equality, education, health, well-being, quality of life, so on. If you're looking for the safest city in the world, or the best city for work-life balance, or best city for expat families, you will find Helsinki from top 3. And hey, Finland, again, along with other Nordic countries, is considered to be the most environmentally friendly country in the world. So that is where I'm from. And everything seems to be very good here in the Nordics, right? But with all the respective rankings, they are great. We're not showing the best example in terms of sustainable behavior. Our CO2 emissions per capita are one of the highest in Europe. Earth Overshoot Day in Finland was already in April, which means that if all people would act like Finns, we would need 3 Earths to survive. So why is that? I mean, everything should be good on that front as well. One reason for that is that we have grown to prefer convenience. We use and go after the things that add value to us immediately. Things that we can easily embed to our daily lives. Things that don't force us to change that much, but still manage to ease our lives. I mean, we are very environmentally friendly, yes. So we don't have anything against the sustainable actions. But it doesn't mean that we ourselves would act upon it, unless it adds value to us immediately. So, as long as the most convenient solutions around us are not the ones which contribute to saving our planet, it is very difficult to change our behavior towards more sustainable direction. That is part of the reason why our CO2 emissions per capita are so high. So with that in mind, why do I consider Finland and Nordics as a good starting place for sustainable products? Because for any company which aims to change our behavior here in the Nordics and actually succeed is forced to make the sustainable action more convenient, more cost efficient, and preferably less time consuming than any other alternative available. And there are great alternatives available, I can tell you that. Our company has learned this lesson many times. And therefore, I'm going to use our product, Rescue, as an example on how convenience could go hand in hand with sustainability here in the Nordics. Our company's aspiration is zero food waste globally. So in short, our end game is to change the entire food system. We've started to change this massive system from the very end of the supply chain, where we have restaurants, cafes, grocery stores, and on the other side we have consumers. So we've built an online marketplace for surplus food, which enables a restaurant to sell their excess food to nearby people with a discount. As a restaurant, you just enter your surplus meals to Rescue service with your laptop or your mobile device. You publish them to your local customers. People will get notified about your offer, and they can purchase the portion through the application. After this, they will pick it up from your venue. Simple as that. As a result, both the restaurant and consumer will get to act sustainably, but they get to do it with an added value without even having to acknowledge the sustainable side of it. As a consumer, you save money and time in addition to planet. As a restaurant, you get extra revenue and new customers. So, if you want to change people's behavior towards being more environmentally friendly with your product, service, words, you name it, do not sell sustainability. Instead, sell a convenient solution to their problem. If by using your product, they end up acting more sustainably, you've actually met your goal. In our case, sustainability is embedded in the action, but the action itself, which in our case is saving surplus food, is in most cases done for reasons other than the environmental aspect of it. And we're fine with that. There are millions of unsustainable legacy ways in our daily lives around the world, just waiting to be replaced with a sustainable alternative. But we won't go after your solution simply because it's the sustainable choice. So do not sell us the sustainability. Sell us a better and more convenient solution that does the job that we're after better than any other alternative available. Sell us something we can love.